Good morning, students. Today we shall be learning about landslides, avalanches, and forest fire. There are several causes of landslides. First could be an erosion or excavation. Now, we all have studied what is erosion. Erosion is moving the earth's material, correct? And what is excavation? It can be done artificially, for example, construction of roads, buildings, etc. So these also causes a disturbance in the rock, which results in a landslide. The next is the weak materials. Now, rocks or the soil strata in the hilly slopes remain less compacted. So, therefore, any kind of movement causes a landslide. And also, students, the third point which causes landslide is excessive rainfall. So, what happens when rainfall's intensity is high and lasting for about several days? What happens? It melts the snow in the hilly terrain and also leads to landslides, because we know that rock is nothing but a combination of your gravels and mud. So when that gets dissolved, it becomes loose and therefore it causes a landslide. Now, students, we shall be studying about the various types of landslides. Ideally, there are three landslides. The first one is a fall. Now, what is a fall? As the name suggests, it's an abrupt free fall movement of materials which are detached from a steep slope. So we can see from this image that they are abruptly coming down because of gravity. It is just falling. So therefore this type of landslide is called a fall. Next, what is a flow? Gradual and continuous mass movement of earthen material along a slip surface. So we can see in this image that there is continuous movement. Can we see a block? A block is moving down from its original position. So this kind of movement where blocks are moving along the slope is called a flow type of uh, landslide. Finally, students, we come to the third one, which is a creep. What is a creep? It is a very slow but steady downslope movement of soil or rock. Very similar to that of flow, but the only difference is in flow, the chunk materials are moving downhill in complete masses, whereas in creep, it is slowly but steadily moving block by block, like a rock particle is breaking and it is moving down. This is called a creep. Now, students, although landslides are primarily associated with mountainous regions, they may occur in low-lying areas as well. Alright, students, it could occur near the coastal areas. It could be in the bank of a river. A bank of a river may get flooded, and the slope failures could result in landslides. Now, moving to the damages. We know that landslide causes a lot of damage. It can destroy life and property. It can eliminate vegetation, especially in the hilly areas. It sometimes buries the houses which are downhill, and also it weakens the slope. And if it weakens the slope, then one landslide may give birth to continuous landslides. Now, moving to your avalanche. What is an avalanche? An avalanche is a rapid flow of snow along a sloping surface. So, a landslide is when debris is coming down, whereas an avalanche is rapid downflow of snow. Now, snow is deposited in successive layers at the top of the mountain. These layers may have dissimilar physical properties. That means some may be strong, some may be dry, some may be wet. So it depends on the amount of water present in the snow. So that causes a now, avalanches are of two types. There is surface avalanche and there is full depth avalanche. So, what is a surface avalanche? Surface avalanche occurs when a layer of snow with different properties slides over another layer of snow. For example, a layer of dry, loosely packed snow slides over a dense layer or a wet snow. So, this is one type of avalanche. The second one, which is your full depth avalanche, occurs when entire snow cover slides over the ground, keeping the rocky mountainous surface bare. So that means the full chunk comes down and your bare mountain is exposed. This is called a full depth avalanche. Is your ground blizzard. Now, what is a ground blizzard? It is a weather condition where snow is not falling but loose snow on the ground is lifted and flown by strong winds. So, blizzard conditions can occur without any falling snow. So, if it is just a storm, it is a blizzard. If there is no snowfall but the wind is very strong, it can pick up the loose snow materials from the ground and blow it. So this is your ground blizzard. Next, students, we will be studying about the next hazard. That is your forest fire. So when we talk about forest fire, students, what do we understand? Basically, a forest fire is an uncontrolled fire occurring in forest. Sometimes the forest fire is so large that it takes a long time for the firefighting crew to gain control over the situation. Now, students, forest fire is of three types: ground fire, surface fire, and crown or aerial fire. Now let us study each of them. What is ground fire? They are usually fueled by subterranean roots, buried organic matter, and dead vegetative parts like leaves, branches, and barks and stems of trees that exist on the soil surface at various stages of decomposition. Next, coming to surface fire. This is mostly on the surface. On the other hand, the surface fire are fed by low-lying vegetation, shrubs, leaves, grass, and other debris. A surface fire is usually less intense as compared to ground fire, and it does not pose major risk to mature trees and their roots. And finally, students, we have the crown or the aerial fire. This can reach the level of tree canopy. A crown fire, crown, what does crown mean, student? It means, like when we talk about crown, like so head, right, at the top. So a crown fire can blow trees and branches, and therefore what happens, the fire spreads very easily. So these are your three types of forest fire. With this, student, we come to an end of the chapter natural hazard and disaster. You need to study any two case studies from the chapter which is given over here, and you can either do the disaster management strategies in West Bengal, or how as students you will be able to help in any kind of disaster or hazard which is taking place around you. So this is a little bit of homework which you need to think about, and with this we come to an end of this chapter. If you have any doubts or queries, please mail me at reema.sma@outlook.com, and your views and responses are most welcome. So please write to us at feedback.stmichaelsacademy@gmail.com. Thank you, students.